I read 6 books in the month of January. Some of them, chef's kiss, while others were debatable. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Jaylene. Welcome back to my channel where we turn every page into a journey. January was kind of a slow month of reading for me. I'm not really sure why. I don't know. It's maybe because I was reading 2 physical books and that kind of slowed me down from my momentum that I had going. Usually I read on my Kindle and it's much easier for me that way. But nevertheless, I read 6 books and one of them was actually a DNF, a soft DNF. I don't want to be rude. I'm actually going to start with the book that I DNF'd first because it was the first book that I read this year, and it was The Imperial Dark by Tigest. I was listening to this book on audiobook, and I don't have any strife or malice against the book. It's that at the time I was listening to the book, I just could not concentrate. Like I said before in one of my vlogs, I'll post it up here in the corner. I have to be tandem reading with the actual book in hand, whether it's in a physical form or on my Kindle. So I could not bring myself to concentrate on the book. I think I got about 43% into the book, and I just decided to, put it down. I will pick it up at a later date. Maybe when I go to the library the next time, I will see if they have it there and I'll check it out and finish it that way. I can listen to it on the Libby app or the Hoopla app and tandem read and finish it that way. I don't want to give up on that book because I know it's a very popular romance / vampire book. So I definitely want to give it another shot. Moving right along to a trilogy. It is a 3-book series called A Beauty of the Street Love by Elle Kayson, and I read this one on Kindle. It is on Kindle Limited, and I was not disappointed at all. Now, without giving too much away of the plot line, this series includes 4 brothers. They are called the Kinsey brothers. They are pretty much within the drug world, the mafia world, if you will. Now they pretty much run the streets of Houston. Now we have a female main character. Her name is Shay. Her real name is Shamar, but she likes to go by Shay. She is a young, beautiful black woman who had just graduated from college. She's wanting to, travel the world and do what young women do. Now when she arrives to his apartment, one of the Kinsey brothers breaks in because he is there to collect his debt, if you know what I mean. The Kinsey brother really wanted to off her brother, but instead of him offing him in front of Shay, Shay's brother decides to give her up for collateral so that he could pretty much spare his life and he can, do right and fix the problem that he started. And that just starts a whole cascade of problems, good ways and in bad. The series was really good. I enjoyed it very much. It does have some dark tones to it, so it's not very dark, but it does have some dark tones, so make sure to look at some of the trigger warnings. Now when you're reading this 3-book series, you can definitely expect a lot of romance, a lot of spice and smut. So if you're shy about reading things like that, then I would definitely not read this because it won't be your cup of tea. The Beauty of the Street Love can be classified as an urban romance or an urban literature read. It does have a feel of found family that the friends and the characters and sub-characters within the book have created for themselves. It's very refreshing to know that young people, even though they come from different backgrounds and on a normal day they may not, be in relations or within the same circle, but because of the circumstances that did happen in the book, I feel like they were sort of forced into friendships and it eventually turned into found family. Moving right along to the next book, it is called The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I think that's how you say his last name. He is the same author that wrote The Maidens and The Silent Patient. This book is definitely different. It's a different writing style from what I'm used to. Now the way that this book is formatted, it's very much of a storytelling, story within a story way of writing. Now if you're not sure what this book is about, it follows the main character. Her name is Lana. She is a reclusive ex-movie star and one of the most famous women in the world. Now once a year she likes to invite some of her closest friends to her private Greek island. It is very secluded, very off the grid. The narrator telling the story, his name is Elliot. He's basically gonna tell you a story within the story of how a murder goes down on the island while they're there for the Easter weekend. Now because the narrator of this story is a very unreliable person, you're really not gonna know whether the words that he's speaking is the truth or if he's trying to manipulate you as a reader. Now there are themes of obsession and jealousy because the friends are very close-knit and such a tight group. Obviously they're bound to have secrets, we are people and sometimes we just can't be loyal to everyone, unfortunately, and that's what happened to some of these characters within the book. Obviously their secrets do get revealed later on and you will see how everything is tied in to one. It's all a connected, interconnected web. Now this is a slow burn psychological mystery thriller, so it's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat, not knowing whether everything that Elliot is telling you will be the truth, and this is more of a whodunit type of novel. Now because the author of this book, the real author, Alex, has a background in screenwriting, he definitely used that to play into and build the characters within this book. And I will say, because the author used screenwriting as a heavy influence in this book, it'll all make sense at the very end. Once you finish the book, you'll be like, oh, I get it now. I know why he used screenwriting as such a heavy plot point within the book. And honestly, you're gonna question the entire book to the very end, the very last sentence. So this is definitely a different type of read for me. I did enjoy it. I believe I gave it 3 or 4 stars. I have to go back on my story graph and see what I ranked it. But it was a pretty good read. I tandem read this with the audiobook and I did enjoy it. When I listen to audiobooks and I tandem read with a physical book, I listen to it quite fast. I listen to it on about ×2 speed so that I can fly through the book and get through with it without having to stop too often, and it definitely helped. Last on the list was my most anticipated read of the month. It is Sisters of the Snake by Serena and Sasha Nanua. Now the authors of this book, it is a 2-book series. They are actually twin sisters in real life, so I feel like they used their twin dynamic to create and perfect these characters within this book, and they did an absolutely amazing job. This was my first time seeing this book on the shelves, and I'm not sure if it's your first time either, but this book is about twin sisters that were separated at birth. These sisters eventually find their way back to another. One is a princess and one is a street thief. Obviously they have 2 very different lives, but you follow along the story of how they have to switch roles in order to stop a terrible 100-year war from happening. In order to stop this war from happening, they have to find something called a bloodstone. Intermission to grab my snack. Now, as far as the world building, it is a very lush and rich Indian culture and mythology. There are vibrant markets, sprawling palaces, and dangerous landscapes. The magic system is deeply rooted in serpents and prophecies, so it will make sense to you why the title of the book is called Sisters of the Snakes and the prophecies that were doomed against the sisters. Although it was kind of hard to read the struggles of the sisters in each of their ways, even though one of them is a princess, she did have her own struggles, trials, and tribulations, as did the other sister, who was a poor street thief who was pretty much stealing naan and jewels off of anyone within the market just to make a living. Even though they come from very different backgrounds, they still struggled with identity, of wanting to know who they were and expecting more of themselves and who they want to be in the future. Family and betrayal is definitely another huge theme within the book, and because of the big secrets that are revealed, it will have very detrimental and devastating consequences. I will add that the side characters in this book definitely played a huge role in the plot, and there are subplots of romance, but it does not take away from the main plot of stopping the war by finding this bloodstone, and the romance doesn't overpower anything that the main characters are doing in their mission. I do plan on reading the second book in this series. It looks really good. I have to read the synopsis for that one, so I'm excited. Now that my reading wrap up is done, I want to bring you guys along with me to have a little bit of a bookish day. I plan on going to downtown Dunedin because there is a bookstore down there that I've been dying to go to. Every time I drive through downtown Dunedin, I say I want to stop in this bookstore and I just hadn't have the time, but today I do, so I want to bring you guys along with us. I'm going to do a little walking downtown, little sightseeing, and most of all getting some fresh air now that the weather is nice and warm. I think it'll be about 80 degrees today, 78, 80 degrees, so I'm so excited to get out and get some fresh air. Let's go.
Sweet summer days can't be beat. Party swaying, breeze so light. Party all day, dance all night. Feel the sunshine, feel the glow. Summer vibes, just let it flow. Dance, dance in the summer heat. Feel the rhythm, move your feet. Sun and sand is so sweet. Summer days can't be beat. Poetry swaying, breeze so light. Party all day, dance all night. Feel the sunshine, feel the glow. Summer vibes, just let it flow. Dance, dance in the summer heat. Feel the rhythm, move your feet. Sun and sand is so sweet. Summer days can't be beat. Let the music take control. Feel the magic in.
It's crazy, the pier in Dunedin is still messed up from Hurricane Milton. You can see it right over there. They're trying to rebuild it now.
Dance, dance in the summer heat. Feel the rhythm, move your feet. Sun and sand.
Thank you so much for coming with me today. I really enjoyed myself. Although I didn't buy any books, I definitely was browsing the shelves and found a lot of cute bookmarks and shirts and little trinkets within the bookstore. So I really enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know that you are part of the fam, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.